Good evening, Women's Council family. It is my honor to introduce to you Karen Coffey. In 2013, Karen started making waves as a top producing real estate agent, generating just under $500,000 in sales her first year. She was able to go from a homeless single mom to create this success story for herself with no established sphere of influence. Karen is proud to be an award-winning speaker, coach, and author of the upcoming book, Making Agents Wealthy. Being a true believer in the power of relationship marketing, partnered with her passion for helping others, Karen is dedicated to leading her tribe of women to break through their financial struggles and attract their ideal clients instead of lead chasing. Karen coaches thousands of women across North America and is proud to be the #1 real estate coaching company for women. She is now making her dreams a reality in the serene mountains of East Tennessee with her loving husband and son. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Karen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation. I'm Karen Coffey, and I am honored to be here. And I'm honored that the Women's Council of Realtors has asked me to be their spokesperson during this time of the coronavirus and the COVID-19 outbreak. And I want to give you hope. I want to give you actions. I want to give you the mindset that's going to be required as we move through this time. You know, this isn't our first rodeo of a down market or the imposing slowdown of the real estate market, but it is something different that we've never experienced before. And for us to say we have a crystal ball and that we know exactly what's going to happen would just be an untruth. But I do know there are certain truths in real estate. And at this point in time, we cannot afford to lose our minds. We can't afford to let fear grip us. There are things that you can do starting now, and I want to share those with you tonight because more than anything, it is my heart. My company and I work strictly with women across North America. We don't work with but a few great men who insist on joining us, but it's about working with women because we have so many roles, we have so many hats that we wear, people that are depending on us, and yet we have this business. So it's what decision will we make this day as to how we move forward? Will we move forward as the CEO and business owner, or are we going to put everything on pause and go, I can't, or are we going to find ways to move forward and say, I can? And so the three things I want to share with you tonight are the mindset that you absolutely have to have. And I'm going to give you some actual practical tips on things that you can do to create that mindset. And don't think that it is something that we should put aside or that you don't need. Everybody needs it at this time. So I'm going to share you some real practical steps on that. And also 10 actions, 10 specific actions that you're going to want to take notes, have a pen, piece of paper, take notes, and implement at this time. Even if you're in a shelter-in-place environment, these are things that you'll be able to do. And also, and lastly, I'm going to give you the schedule of how to map out these 10 things Monday through Sunday. Now, I'm not asking you to work 7 days, but I know a lot of you are at home and you have a lot of free time, I could say, but a lot of you have children, so maybe you have less time than you're used to. And this is not easy. This isn't an easy time, and I get it. But you need a community. You need people that have been through the fires before and across the minefields. You need to have people that are not losing their head. And so I want to be that leader for you. I want to share with you exactly what I do know, the truths that I do know. And again, I can't exactly tell you what's going to happen as we move through these next coming weeks and months, but I can tell you that we were made for this. The real estate market was made for this moment. We have everything digital signatures. We have virtual tours. We have all of the technology that other companies are just now trying to get. And I'm just going to pivot you a little bit. This isn't about making a 180-degree turn and running the other way and running away from what's happening. This is to pivot. in just the 10 to 20 degrees and lean in. Move past the fear and make a decision. Who am I going to be today? So as we move, forward in this live today, I want to ask you, and before we do, I want to ask you a couple of questions. What are you most fearful of? And you can comment below, or you can just keep it to yourself, or like I said, get pen and paper and just write it down. The reason I ask you is I don't want you to deny the feelings that you're having. I don't want us to turn a blind eye and say, oh, this isn't happening and I'm just going to move forward. No, that would be foolish. But what you can do, what are you most concerned with? What are you fearful of? I know a lot of us are fearful of a market like 2008 happening again. Are we going to have a downturn in the market that's going to last 8 years? That's what 2008 brought us in the financial downfall. And I'm here to say, I don't believe that that's the thing. Real estate does not end. It will not end. Every bump, every mountain that we've had to climb over, we thought it was the end, and it hasn't been. So history tells us. Now, we've never experienced anything like this before, so I don't belittle it. But what I do want to share with you is go ahead, feel your feelings. This isn't about sucking it up, pretending like it's not happening. What are you concerned with? What are you scared of? And that's what I want to bring you through, whatever those things are. So let's get a reset, because to say we're not fearful of something, you may have a great mindset, but there is some chatter in the back of your mind. I am the most positive, forward-thinking person, that you'll ever want to be around. But there are moments when I go, wow, this time, what's really happening? What is happening? So we want to reset. I need to reset myself sometimes. I'm having to navigate through this as well, same as you, in a different way. But, when I was selling real estate, which was during the downturn, I knew that in a moment, overnight, homes were lost. The short sale market was going crazy. And I have realized that we really don't have to be in that space again. We can go, yes, that's what happened. We pivoted and we made a lot of money during it. And you can too. So I just want all of you to be in health. I want you to have prosperity. I want you to have more closings than you've ever had before. And so that's why I share this with you today. So the last question I want to ask you before we move on is, who do you want to be during this unique time? Who is it that you want to be as a woman, female business owner? You have a choice. You can either be the agent that's like, oh, I'm putting my hands up and I'm listening to the herd mentality. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. I'm scared, Karen. I am fearful. I can't afford this. My husband lost his job. I have 3 kids at home and I don't have time to work. But who are you going to be in the midst of all of that? That's what I'm asking you, because you have a decision to make. And if you're going to decide, I am going to be the CEO of $1 million company, or maybe it's a $500,000 company, or maybe you're just like, Karen, I just want to make $150,000 to $200,000 a year. And now I'm thinking I'm going to make $20,000 and I'm going to lose everything. Wherever you are, decide that you are going to be the business owner, that you are going to make the smart business decisions. This isn't about being a realtor right now. This is about being a business owner. A realtor and a business owner make decisions totally differently, and it's sad but true. And those of you who have been in this industry, anytime, I'm talking the truth. So who are you going to decide to be? Because here's the bottom line. Every day when you wake up over the next several weeks, several months, whatever it is, you're going to have that same question to ask yourself. Who am I going to be today in light of what's happening? Am I the business owner today? Or am I going to be the lay down? Am I going to just lay down and let this happen? Am I going to put my head in the sand? This is not the time to have that happen. So there's something I want you to do for me every single day. Now, when we're busy, sometimes we don't have time for this. But right now, we've got some time on our hands. Most of us do. In the mornings, I want you to it is imperative. This is a crucial time that you take time, 15 to 20 minutes, to get into self-reflection, meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it, and ask the question, who am I going to be today? I want you to have a journal. I happen to have one here that I write everything in, and I mean, it has days you can't see. But it has day upon months of writing. And it starts with asking the question, who am I going to be today? Now, You may not be a religious person, but you may be a spiritual person. This is not a religious talk, but I do want to just acknowledge that there is something greater that you can lean on. Now, that may be your spirit, Holy Spirit, your inner spirit, your gut instinct, whatever you think it might be. I want you to lean on that and lean on that identity. It's your highest identity, whatever it is for you. And I'm not here to tell you what that is. But as you lean into that every day, I want you to ask the questions. Who can I serve today? What's the one thing that I can do in my business today to help someone else? Maybe spirit. I always say be inspired. Every day, just write on the top of your journal, I want to be inspired. The root of the word inspire is in spirit. Again, it doesn't matter what spirit, my spirit, your spirit, Holy Spirit, whatever spirit you believe in, universal spirit. But let spirit flow through you and tell you and put on the pages what you can do for that day. Now, you might think that's crazy, but one of the things that I have done to build a multi-million-dollar business is every day asking spirit what it is I need to do today. And that is called a spirit-led business. Now, that may not be your cup of tea, and if it's not, forgive me. But if it is, give it a try. Just try. Who can I serve? What's the one thing I can do today? Write the question out with your pen and let the answers fall out the bottom of the pen. Let that higher identity answer the question. How do I navigate this today? All right. So mindset is extremely important. And by starting that each and every day, you're going to be head and shoulders above the rest. What's going to happen is, and I strongly suggest that you get a 90-day calendar. This is my gut. This is my spirit that tells me 3 months. I could be so wrong. And I hope that I am. I hope it's 2 months. I hope it's 1 month that we're in this situation. I hope it's shorter rather than longer. But just to be safe, get a 90-day calendar and just every day consistently do the 10 things that I'm going to share with you right now to create a consistent business in your life, consistent income. What's going to happen at the end of that 90 days? You are going to be, I don't want to use the word celebrity, but it's almost as if you keep showing up, there's going to be pent-up demand. There's going to be a frenzy. There's no inventory now where you're at. So what happens is that all of these people are pent up, and it's going to be like a coming out party. And if you have been active and seen and heard and known, people are going to call you. People are going to know you. You're going to be top of mind, even if you've been quiet the last 20 years of your career. All right, so go ahead and take your pen and paper out, because I'm going to share with you right now the 10 things that you can do starting now. All right, so these 10 things I'm just going to go over briefly. So the first thing I want you to start doing is every Sunday, if you can. If you're in a shelter in place, you may not be able to do this unless you get permission, but it is, for most of us, we're not in a shelter in place situation. So I want you to do virtual open houses every Sunday. That is Facebook Live. Go ahead and schedule it. Let everyone know. I'm not going to get in the details of how to do that. You guys, hopefully you know how to build this business and you know some certain things, but you want to get as many people notified as possible about this virtual, sending them to your Facebook page, your personal Facebook page, where you're going to go live. Throughout the day on that Sunday, you're going to continue to do watch parties throughout the day, just every hour on the hour. These virtual open houses should last about 30 minutes. You can interview your lenders. You can interview a title person, talk about how low rates are and how much the mortgage would be on a property like that, or refinancing, or you can talk about renovation loans, anything like that if the house needs some work. You can do that on vacant homes. You can do it on builder spec homes. You don't necessarily have to do it on homes that are occupied with 50 kids. So this is a time where you can do virtual open houses every Sunday. All right. Number 2. I want to talk to you about doing home tours. So you have an MLS that you can pull up homes that range in your sweet spot. It might be between 250 and 350,000. And on a Wednesday, you're going to say, hey guys, I hope you'll join me throughout the day. I'm going to be doing home tours of properties in the 250,000 to 350,000. range. You call the agents and say, look, I'm taking my shoes off. I'll scrub down. I will make sure that I don't touch anything, but can I feature your property on a home tour this Wednesday? And use Wednesdays to do a home tour of, it could be a builder subdivision. It could be, like I said, homes between 250 and 350. It could be all your listings for that matter. So make sure you're doing those home tours, and they are, again, on Facebook Live. And then you can replay them and do watch parties throughout the rest of the day. All right. Number 3. You have a database, hopefully, that you have been really working hard to build. So you need to communicate with it now more than ever. Your database, number 1, you can let them know of your virtual opens and things that you're doing, but send a care and compassion letter right away. And, just show empathy, show caring that, you're in this with them, that you are concerned, that you're checking in on them. Now is a great time to call everyone and say, hey, how are you doing? This isn't the time to ask for business as much as it is like, hey, I'm just checking on everyone that I know, that I've worked with, that I've met at open houses in the past, every lead that I have. I'm texting you, I'm emailing you, and I'm calling you. This is what you're built for. This is the time you have, and you can do all of this from home. So that is number 3. And that compassion email might be like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what the market is. This is how my family is doing. Make it personal to you. You can make it fun and say, hey, after all this is over, I'm going to have a coming out party. Hope you'll come, something like that. Just lighten the mood a little bit. So number 4 is make sure that you're texting all of your leads. Just text them, you can text them and say, hey, are you still interested? But you can also just check on them as well. So it's important that you're reaching out to your leads now. Don't be fearful. Don't retract. Lean in, move forward. If you are starting to do something, continue to do it. Don't put a pause button on this. Don't take your foot off the gas. That's the worst idea in the world. And we've seen it over and over and over in history because people have done that. In the 2008 financial crisis, 50% of realtors gave up their license because they wouldn't lean in. They got scared and said, I'm done. I can't do this. I don't know what to do. Guys, I'm here to tell you what to do. Just do it. Put it on your calendar, and I'm going to tell you when in a little bit, like what days to do what. But text your leads, find out how they're doing. Do they need anything? All right, because most agents aren't touching anything. They're shutting down. All right. So the 5th thing that you can do is create a Facebook group. Now, this may seem like, what? What am I doing? Create a group that is tied around hyper-local. For instance, if you lived in Dallas, it could be Dallas Speaks Out, or it could be Chime In Dallas, or Let's Talk About Corona. Or, it doesn't have to be to this event in history. It could be a gratitude group. It could be something like that. You want to create that, invite everyone in your database, everyone in your Facebook friends. If you have not been active in accepting friends or searching for friends, now is the time to do it. Your Facebook is really just another database that you're going to really use at the end of this 90 days. But right now you can be sending out, well, we'll get to that in a moment. But right now, just invite them to your Facebook group. Get in there and talk about things. Hey, I saw this restaurant over. Hey, there's a deal on toilet paper over here. And I'm not being facetious. I'm really being serious. So just be that resource for your community. For years, we depend on our community. Let's give back. Let's give back to them now so that when we come out of this and the sun shines again, that they're going to know you as the number 1 person they want to contact because you didn't give up. You didn't stop. All right. So after your Facebook group, I want you to think about joining a community at this time. The importance of joining a community of real estate agents that are actually continuing to work and staying in business, I can't stress enough. We can hold ourselves accountable, but it's a lot easier when we're with other people that are having successes every day, even in this market. We've only been in it for a couple of weeks at this point. So we see that listings are still happening, contracts just still happening today, as a matter of fact, and that people are still buying and selling. It's just a different way. We're having digital signatures. We're not exactly meeting each other. We're not carrying them around in our cars. We're meeting them at properties. We're carrying our sanitizer with us, things like that. But deals are still happening. Don't become of the mindset that no one's buying. All the restaurants are closed. Oh, the bars are closed. Remember the decision that you make. Who are you going to be during this crisis? I want you to be that person that says, I'm not backing down. I'm not stopping. I am actually hitting that gas full throttle, and I will blow through this, and I will come out the richest agent in town, actually. So, and we've seen it happen before, and we'll see it happen again. So you want to join a community, whether that's a coaching community. It doesn't have to be mine. We do work with women, but I'm not saying that it's the only gig in town. There's other things out there. I don't think there is good. I don't think there is special for women specifically, because we are attractors. We are not chasers. We do not door knock anyway. We don't cold call anyway. We attract business. So join a community, find one that works for you. All right. So I know that more than ever, people are going to be surfing the web at this time. So if there is a respectable lead source, I know there are some that are offering deals out like crazy, 50% off. And if you can get some zip codes and I am not a proponent of many of these platforms, but if there's a respectable online lead source and you can afford it, now is the time. You don't want to miss this boat, because people are sitting at home surfing on that cell phone all day long. They're going to be getting pre-qualified by a lender because they've got nothing else to do. Praise God. Anyway, this is actually a good thing. And so make sure that you see how many leads are in your area, find out how much it would cost. And if you can afford it, then go ahead and maybe purchase some of those online lead sources. All right. So 8. I want you to make sure you're managing your expenses, looking at every outgo that isn't necessary, have a meeting with your family if things can be trimmed back, scaled back. I wouldn't do your accountability. That's not because I'm in that industry, but because that is actually what will make you more money than anything at this time. But it is about managing your expenses. And if you are feeling like, man, I am on the edge, if I don't have some closings, I'm going to lose my shirt, then I would suggest trying to get some sort of equity loan, some sort of business loan, some sort of money now before you need it. And that way you have it. If things go south, this is something that we should have done back in the day, is get some money in the coffers now just to pay the rent, just to pay the mortgage, just to pay a car payment. If you are just living on the edge like that and you're not quite sure, go ahead and apply while your credit's good before you've missed payments. Do it now. All right, so that was number 8. 2 more. Number 9, Fizbos and expireds. We don't cold call and we don't door knock, but what I want to say is they're scared too. They don't have a clue what's going on in the market. And so if you're calling them and saying, hey, how's it going? You're not trying to list their house. You're just saying, hey, I'm just checking in on you. How's it going? Have you had anything? Has things slowed down? Can I do anything for you? And then once you talk to them and find out what their outcomes are that they want, then send them your pre-listing packet. But just have a conversation. Don't be scared of them. Come from a place, again, of contribution, a place of impact. That makes all the difference in the world right now in this environment. And so the last of the 10 things, and then I'm going to give you the schedule in which you'll want to follow during this time. But the last of that is get your free Zoom account. It's Zoom, Z-O-O-M, and many of you are familiar with it. Zoom.com, I believe it is. And get a free account, because many of the buyers you will not be touring around, but I want you to still have that eye-to-eye communication with them. Instead of picking up the phone and calling them if you have an appointment, or create an appointment, but send them your Zoom link so that you can have that eye to eye. Many of you are so gifted, especially women are gifted at the face-to-face meeting, and you're like, that's my gift. How can I do it? just send a link to those people that you want to have a conversation with about buying, letting them know what the inventory is, how you can send them virtual tours, what you can do for them, but do it over Zoom versus the phone. All right. So those are the 10 things that you can do right now. There's one that I want you just to, we talked about your database, but I really want you to spend time building that database through, get on that cell phone, find contacts you haven't spoken to in forever, get on Facebook, start friending people, and start building this mountain that you're going to be communicating with. All right. So let me go ahead and give you your schedule. All right. So Monday, let's just do Monday through Sunday. All right. So every Monday, I want you to choose which six-figure, that's not what I meant to say, which virtual open, what virtual open do you want to do on Sunday? So it's going to require you on Monday to call and find a home that's a spec home or a vacant home or one where the homeowner is fine with you coming in and doing that six-figure open. You're still going to do your invitations and stuff like that. Nothing skips a beat except that people aren't coming. We had a client just last week that she gave the address on her virtual open, and she had people standing in line outside to come in. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell people don't come because of the crowd." But people were like, "No, we're coming." And so they had a line and they let people in one at a time. It's up to you how you want to do it, but you can tell people not to come. But anyway, so Monday is your virtual open house. That's the day that you want to absolutely choose that, start doing the activities, and broadcast it. All right, Tuesday. That is your database and social media day. So that is your Karen Compassion email, your State of the Market email, and putting it on Facebook as well on all channels. That's Tuesday. Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be your home tour day. That could be your price range between $250 and $350. It could be a subdivision that you're just showing all the different spec homes. But that is home tour through Facebook Lives and watch parties. All right. Now, Thursday is going to be posting on social media. Post what your buyer needs are. Hey, I have buyers that are looking for homes. How refreshing is it for you to post something in a market where people think nothing is happening? Maybe they have a home that they're thinking of selling this spring, and you post, "Hey, I have a buyer." Maybe you worked with them 2 weeks ago. Maybe you worked with them a month ago. Or maybe they're just coming in as an online lead or some lead source that you have. And you say, "I have a buyer looking at the $350,000 to $400,000 range, and we can't find anything. Who's got something?" So you, right now, can do that easily every Thursday. Just post your needs. What are your real estate needs? All right. Friday, I call my Fizbos. Now, I am not a cold caller, but I do want to communicate with them. We already talked about how. You just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm just checking in on you. I'm not trying to list your home, but is there anything I can do for you? How's the market? How's showings?" And then send them your pre-listing packet. All right. Saturday, if you have buyers that are out of town and you want to do a virtual, just tour around the homes that they wanted to see, of course you can do that. And then you can do, or take the day. Take the day off, spend with family, actually have some self-care. That might be okay. And then, of course, Sunday, you're going to do your I say six-figure all the time. I don't know, it's old habit, but your virtual open houses. So that's the day where you do your Facebook Live. And churches are closed. So you're going to be, maybe not going to church. You're not going anywhere. And a lot of people will be looking online and see your live and see your open house. So it's a great time to do it. What is going to happen as all of this comes to a close? You are going to emerge above everyone else who took their foot off the gas and said, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, Karen." What I'm telling you, don't turn around and run. Don't shut yourself down. Don't listen to your peers. Don't listen to your emotions. I'm telling you, listen to the spirit inside of you. Listen to the leaders who have been through it before, whether it's me or someone else. But as women and as members of the Women's Council of Realtors, I'm telling you, you have a network of women that is unlike any other. And we will support one another and through the good, the bad, the thick, the thin, the ugly. We're here for you. So, I had mentioned earlier about I want to leave you with health and wealth. The name of my company is called Making Agents Wealthy. And that means making them wealthy now, making them wealthy a year ago, making them wealthy a year from now. My team and I have been through this market before. Again, not this situation. And I can't even imagine. I can't tell you what's going to happen. But I can tell you real estate's not going anywhere. That we were made for this. All of this I share with you will actually put you head and shoulders above anyone else. I want to leave you with more closings than you've ever had. I want you to have prosperity. I want you to have that wealth. And so if you're interested, you can get more ideas like this by going over. There's a presentation that I do, a webinar that I do, and it's called The 5 Steps Our Clients Are Using to Do 60 Transactions a Year. It's at karencoffey.com/Making Agents Wealthy. And coffee is spelled with a Y. It's Coffey. But more than anything, I want you to be safe. I want you to be healthy. And I hope that you will find something out of this presentation tonight that you can add, that when you look back, you go, my gosh, if I hadn't done that, I would be out of business. So decide right now, who are you going to be? And how can we help? How can we help one another? How can we just be a support and a love and a community of just ideas and, invention, and just we have this great ability to withstand and survive in any circumstance. And this time is no different than any other. So I look forward to seeing you on the masterclass, karencoffey.com/Making Agents Wealthy. And we just thank the Women's Council of Realtors for being a guiding light in our industry. And that even the NAR has been great in guiding us and letting us know what's next for us. But I'm here to help. We're all here to hold your hand. And guys, I couldn't be prouder of who we are as women in residential real estate. So very honored to be here. Again, I'm Karen Coffey. And till next time, take care.